Welcome back to Love Daniella, episode 11. I'm so happy to have you here. Happy Tuesday. I'm actually really excited for this episode. I spent the morning figuring out our personal winter arc, something that aligns with me. I know people started winter arc October 1st, and I think this episode is releasing, what's the date? October 15th, but it would be our version of 75 hard. So if you start today, the day that the episode releases, until January 1st, I didn't really do the math, about a 75 hard, okay? And I don't want 75 hard. 75 hard, I feel like, creates burnout. And so this is kind of like our version of the 75 hard, physically, mentally, spiritually. I want to work on every aspect of my life. I don't want it to just be physical health and be working out where I can create that burnout. I want there to be a lot of things that I implement. I think the main thing is changing our habits. Habits are a big thing. When you do something every single day and you consistently show yourself that you can't wake up on time and you're going to snooze your alarm and you're going to keep sleeping for a few hours, it creates a habit and your mind just knows that that's what you're going to do. So it's breaking those cycles and kind of rewarding yourself. Like, I think I'm going to be rewarding myself for things that I'm completing so that I just keep it up and then it becomes a habit. So by January 1st, it's already implemented in my routine so it doesn't feel impossible and it's my lifestyle at that point. So that is the goal for this. And 75 hard, I think that is what the goal is, to create those habits, but I wouldn't want to do a workout 2 times a day every single day for the rest of my life. That's just not something that I would want to do. And I think it put a lot of pressure on me when I was doing 75 hard. So I want something that I can stick with, that is building the habits for what I want my life to look like completely, and not, okay, I have to go really hard and then I can figure out what works for me, because then you built a habit to completely change it. And I feel like that's what the whole point of a 75 hard is. So I'm going to go through, I made a list of 10. I have everything bullet pointed right here. And we're going to go through those together, kind of explain, go into detail, and hopefully you guys start it with me. I'll do little check-ins throughout my episodes. If you guys want to see it on TikTok, I would probably do it on my personal page. If you guys want to see that and how I'm doing that, maybe like weekly check-ins. I don't want it to be like my entire content, but little check-ins of how I'm doing. I'm down to do that, so let me know, and I will write everything down in the description. So if you want, you can just highlight it, copy and paste it into your notes or something. So that'll all be down below. Before we start with all of those, my high is, I never come prepared for this. My high is my best friend is coming in town tomorrow. So I have been thinking about that all week. I haven't done much this week. It's more of just like prepping for her to come. So today I'm podcasting, trying to get that done, and then cleaning my whole apartment. I need to wash my sheets. All of that I'm going to do today, but I'm just like, it's all things that I'm like, because I'm so excited that like the cleaning, the prepping, I just want everything done. So while she's here, I don't have to do big loads of laundry. I don't have to clean my apartment. She's here for 10 days. So I just want everything to be in its place and everything very clean so that we can just have fun and I don't have to worry about a lot. So that is what we're doing today. So that is my high. And my low is I have been so emotionally drained. And I think it's just because I've had so many highs where I had so many people in town. I had ACL, I was in LA, I was in Dallas. Like, I feel like I've been doing things nonstop. I feel like I haven't been alone in a really long time, and I reset the best when I'm by myself. I feel like I feel my emotions when I'm alone. When I'm doing things for far too long, I don't feel my feelings, and so a lot of the time, everything just kind of crumbles on top of me all at once when I finally get time to myself. And so yesterday I was just like kind of in a sad mood and I just needed a good cry. So I'm a little somber today, and this is why we created the winter arc, because I just wanted to focus my energy on something positive that I can do for myself that I really want to complete. And I love having goals and creating goals for myself. So why my air sounds like that, I don't know. My mom says that she thinks that I should get maintenance to come and see if they can fix it, because I think this is an older building that they renovated, but usually I turn that off before I film, and I didn't, and now I'm comfy. So if you hear that like every once in a while, it is my air conditioning. The whole thing is I don't like maintenance people coming into my apartment because I'm paranoid that people are always trying to kill me. So I'm like, I don't want to let them in my apartment, because then what if they get a weird obsession with me and then they break into my apartment when I'm alone, hide in my closet, and then kill me? Paranoia. So that's why I haven't gotten it fixed. So I'm like, I don't mind it, but it is annoying when I'm filming. Okay. So that is my low. I've been mentally a little bit, I'm feeling my feelings, which is a good thing. I think it's better to kind of let it all out than suppress it. And I definitely suppress emotions a lot when I am not alone. So that is my low, but we're only up from here. So this 75 hard winter arc, I don't want it to be like go, 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 because I think winter months are supposed to be a little slower. You're supposed to be able to hibernate a little bit and maybe give yourself a little bit more of recharge. I think we all crave that in the winter months, where it's like you feel more tired, you feel a little bit more sluggish, it's cold outside, you don't want to leave your house. It is normal to feel that, and you can make this list work for whatever you feel in these months. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have seasonal depression, and if I don't set goals for myself, I will sit in my apartment by myself. It's not cold in Texas yet, but once it gets cold, I will sit by myself in my apartment, not leave, just work, and feel bad for myself. I have had seasonal depression since I can remember. That's why moving to California sounded so nice to me, is because it doesn't really get cold there. And when it gets cold here, the sun doesn't come out as much and the sun goes down at like 5 p.m. I have a really hard time mentally figuring everything out. So I want this to help if you struggle with seasonal depression, if you get a little bit lazier and you always feel bad when it hits January 1st, like how did I let these last few months slip by? You're allowed to be a little slower, but don't forget about your goals. There's still goals and there's still things, but you can also have a goal to have moments of being slow and have moments where you can do self-care or spend time with your family. There are those moments as well. So it's finding what works for you. Number 1 is consistent activity. I don't want it to feel like I am having to do these intense workouts every single day. I really want to listen to my body, but I want to be more active, whether that's going for a walk, to go get your groceries, get your steps in, just go for a walk to get some fresh air, go on a call while you're going on a walk. Try new classes, be consistent with going to Pilates, or if you can't make it to a workout class, if you can't go outside and go for a walk, at least go down to your gym and get some steps in. I just want to be more active in my day-to-day, and I don't want it to feel stagnant. I don't want to feel like, oh, I have to do Pilates every single day, or I have to go for a walk every single day. I do want to get my steps in, but I want it to feel fun for me. So whether that's getting coffee with a friend and going and walking to that coffee spot, or going down to the gym and putting on my favorite trashy reality TV show on there and watch TV while I'm going for a walk. I think that is the biggest thing, is I want it to be fun and I don't want to dread it every day. I want to have fun with it and spice it up. I get very frustrated if every single workout looks the same. I just don't have fun with it, and then I dread it every day. I just know that about myself. I like switching things up. So I know I like Pilates, and I have my favorite Pilates studio in Austin, which is AM Radio. So I do want to go there a few times a week. But I also can try out different classes, whether that's yoga, whether that's a different cardio class. Like I just want to try new things so that it doesn't get so stagnant. When I was doing 75 hard, I literally worked out in my apartment gym and went on walks every single day, and that's all I did. And so by the end of it, I was like, I am over going to the gym and I'm over this. Like I want to try out different things so things don't feel stagnant. So I think that's a good idea. And a goal of mine with the walking is to get at least 5 to 10K steps a day. I think that is very possible if you're having a very active day. 10K steps is the goal. If you realize that you haven't had much activity that day, going down to the treadmill at the end of the night and going for a walk like you would normally watch TV at the end of the night. Like, that's kind of the mindset I want to be in, is like, okay, let me go take care of my body first, you know? So those are the goals for number 1. 2 is good sleep. I want to be going to bed early and having a good nighttime routine. My routine with sleep has been so bad lately, and I think it was the time change of being in LA for 10 days. I already was not on a good sleep schedule, but that worsened it even more. So things don't happen overnight. If you have been waking up at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. every morning, and then you're going to try to wake up at 5 a.m., that is just probably not going to work. You are going to wake up and be so tired throughout the day. So what my goal is 7:30 a.m. is my goal. I really, by January 1st, be consistently waking up at 7:30. That just feels like a good time. It's, again, with the time change, especially in winter months, the sun goes down at like 5 p.m. and it literally feels like your days are shorter. Because when the sun goes down, this is just how my brain works. When the sun goes down, I don't feel as productive. And I know some people are not like that, but I personally am like that. And especially with content creation, I like to do things with natural light. So it really feels like my days are cut really short. If I'm waking up at 11 a.m. and then getting ready, I'm not ready until like 12:30, 1 p.m. It just doesn't feel productive. And then I only have 4 hours of sunlight until it's dark. And it just feels very like confusing. So having a good nighttime routine, if that's sleepy time tea, or if I need to start taking a little bit of melatonin. Also, little tip, you are not supposed to take melatonin every single night. Your body naturally produces melatonin, and melatonin was created for jet lag. So if you're traveling somewhere, let's say you traveled to Italy and you're trying to get on that time zone, melatonin helps to kind of regulate that. And then when you come back, melatonin is good to regulate back into that time zone. But taking it every day kind of messes with your natural melatonin production. So I wouldn't be using this the whole time, but maybe to try to get in the swing of falling asleep earlier. I do have the melatonin gummies from Lemmy, and then just having little things that may wind me down earlier. Taking a bath. I take baths every night, but taking a bath earlier to kind of wind myself down and get in bed, get off your phone at a certain time. Just things that are going to make me feel sleepier earlier, and just having a good nighttime routine. So I think that will help with better sleep. And then waking up early, because days are shorter. So waking up earlier, going to sleep earlier will help with the waking up earlier. So that is my big thing. I want good sleep. I want 8 to 9 hours a night, but I need to get good at falling asleep earlier so I can wake up earlier. So that is a big, big goal of mine. Number 3 is the 80-20 rule for meals. 80% good whole foods, 20% whatever you want. I think balance is the biggest thing, and not being like, I'm going on a full diet, because that will create an unhealthy relationship with food. And I never want to have an unhealthy relationship with food. I think it's great to eat whole foods, eat very healthy, fuel your body with good stuff. But when you're out to eat with friends and you're checking the calories, like, oh, I can't eat this, I think it's balance. If you spend your week eating really well and clean while you eat at home, and then you go out with your friends and want to enjoy pizza and drinks, that should be allowed, because you're rewarding yourself for eating healthy. I think life is about balance. I don't want to never eat ice cream again in my life. I don't ever want to not eat pizza. I don't want to ever not eat a vegan burger. Like, I would like to have those things in my life. I don't want to ever just cut them out. So finding that balance of eating really healthy. I personally, my goal is to eat high protein. I feel like I slack on protein because I'm vegan. You have to get a little creative with your protein intake. I can't just like make eggs in the morning with bacon and then have just a chicken breast. It's a little harder for me to get creative with the healthy meals that don't feel very processed, because I don't really love processed like vegan meat. It's just not my vibe, and it's not healthy. So finding those creative ways to add in protein is going to be one of my main goals with the 80-20 rule, I want to be drinking more water. I have a water bottle and I have been honestly pretty good, but being a little bit more conscious of how many times I fill it up, because I'm so scatterbrained throughout the day. I don't know how many times I'm filling up my water bottle. So either having that in your notes of, okay, I filled it up once, I filled it up twice, things like that, or having it on a notepad to check it off. I just want to make sure that I'm drinking at least 3 of those big jugs of my cup a day, because I think it's 2 water bottles in each, so that's at least 6. 6 water bottles a day is perfect. So that is a main goal for me. And then more fruits and vegetables. I love fruits and vegetables, but I have a hard time incorporating those in meals. I don't know why. I think because a lot of the time I forget I have them and then they go bad in my fridge. So getting frozen vegetables, because frozen vegetables are actually really good for you because they're picked at the perfect time. They have so much nutrients right when they get picked and then they get frozen. So they're a lot better for you. I just saw that, and I always thought that frozen vegetables probably didn't have as good of nutrients than fresh vegetables, but I've been seeing a lot of things that frozen vegetables are actually better to buy from the store. So I definitely want to stock up my freezer with all the good frozen vegetables and fruit. And I used to, as a kid, snack on frozen blueberries. I would just fill up a cup with frozen blueberries, and blueberries are so good for antioxidants. So little things like that and snacks that incorporate fruit and vegetables. Number 4 is having some sort of hobby once a week. I don't want to be so consumed with all these things and all these goals and forget about being present with myself and things that I enjoy. And I think life goes really fast, and being able to give yourself a moment to have fun where it doesn't have a bigger meaning, because a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I can do this and have fun, but I can film it, I can make content into it. I want to be able to sit with myself and listen to my favorite music, whether that's coloring in a coloring book, painting, trying a class and doing like pottery. I really want to have hobbies and at least do them once a week. That has been something that I have been wanting to work towards more often, but I get so caught up with work. And I'll tell myself, oh my gosh, this week I'm going to actually sit down for an hour and color my coloring book. I think it'll be so nice and so therapeutic. And then I don't do it. So I definitely want to start doing that, whether it's trying a new meal and cooking, baking, things like that are just for fun. So that is going to be another one of my goals for this. 5 is journaling at least once a week. Journaling is so important, and I think it helps a lot with kind of figuring out what you're feeling up here, and looking back is so beneficial in seeing how your mindset has changed. I know a lot of us forget to journal every single day, and sometimes I dread it when it's every single day because I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? So I think journaling is really nice. But I want to have the goal to do it once a week. I actually have this journal that I've been wanting to use. I brought some things so I can show you guys, but this is from Inside Then Out. This is not sponsored. This is their Dig Deeper journal. And this journal has journal prompts, because my biggest thing is when I'm journaling, a lot of the time I have no idea what I want to talk about. I have no idea where to start. I'm like, I don't know. I have a lot of stuff that I have to do today. I don't know what I'm thinking. So having a journal prompt, and what I like about this one, because I have 2, I have a black one from them, and it was from January to January. It showed like a full 365, and I kind of didn't love that I had to do it every single day. It felt like I was obligated, and then once a week I would do like 7, which isn't fun. So this has a date at the top of it, and so you can write in the date, and then there's journal prompts. So this one says, what is something you are tolerating that you do not want to be? So I love this because it really gets you thinking and asking yourself questions that maybe you normally wouldn't ask yourself. So I definitely will be using this a lot during this challenge. I want to sit there once a week. I think that's very doable. Pick a day that you maybe don't have as much going on, like Sunday, if that's your reset day, and sit there and be able to write a whole page. Like sit there with yourself and actually think about what the prompt is. So this is going to be a game changer for this, but journaling, I think for me personally, since I dread doing it every day, once a week feels good for me. 6 is decluttering each space. So I know we do spring cleaning. A lot of the time people want to clean their space as soon as January 1st hits or after Christmas. I want to declutter my space, and I have a list of where I want to start, whether this is broken up into weekly things, however many spaces you have, I would break it up in this challenge and break it up in pieces so it doesn't feel as overwhelming. So I want to do my bedroom. This is where my makeup station is. So going through all of my makeup, anything like that. I don't really have anything else besides my makeup stuff. So bedroom is 1 for me. 2 is kitchen, going through all my cups that I don't use, going through my silverware, things like that. Things start stacking up and you never use them, and I'd rather donate them and it go to a better home for someone that needs it than it just sitting up in my cabinet for 3+ years. So I really want to be intentional with the things that I keep. Kitchen is a big thing and cups are a big thing for me, so I definitely want to declutter that. 3 is my bathroom. I get a lot of PR, especially skincare and hair care. And there's a lot of things that maybe I've tried and my skin didn't like, but I just put it back on the shelf. So I really want to go through and kind of have like a cycle of things that I want to try, because if it's just sitting there for a year and I never try it, what's the point of me having it? So I want to try the products that I have in my cabinets, and if I like it, keep it. If I don't, give it to a friend, because once I use the product, it can't be donated. So give it to a friend. That is the goal. And then 4 is my closet. I ran out of hangers and I feel like my closet is packed full. It is a good thing and a bad thing. My closet is not big as my last apartment's closet, and it shows. I have my clothes rammed in there, and I feel like I get really attached to my clothes, so I definitely need to go through it. A lot of my pants, like try them on and see if I would actually wear them, because a lot of the time I'm like, oh, it's cute, and make a pile for myself if something's too big or something's too long to get altered. That is a goal of mine. Is I always tell myself I'm going to keep this. It was really expensive. I didn't return it. I'm going to eventually get it altered, and actually taking those pieces, getting the pants that I love that I just need like altered a little bit so things fit perfectly for me. That is going to be something I do for my closet. And then you can do your car. If you have a messy car, clean it. And then if you live in a house, garage. Or if you have a linen closet, things like that. Like create that list for you and divide it in between now until January 1st. 7 is manifesting and setting intentions. I want to be doing this at least monthly, but I'm going to try maybe every other week. I am good about manifesting when I see that it's a new moon or a full moon or things like that. When I see like the pages that I follow, I obviously want to keep doing that, but I want to be a little bit more consistent about it and really setting intentions monthly of what I want my month to look like, how much I want to be making, how much I want to be growing on social media, what my goals are, who I want to be partnering with, what I want my life to look like. I want to really tune in to my goals and don't let those pass because I'm not setting those intentions, because manifesting is so powerful and I want to consistently be thinking of those things and not letting those just slip by. 8 is a daily checklist. I think this is going to be helpful for this whole thing, but creating a checklist, whether it's weekly, if you have weekly things that you want to do, and then daily. So daily, if you want to be eating healthy, if you want to be meal prepping, if you want to have your good sleep, check off that you got good sleep. I want to have a checklist and make it so that I can visually see that I'm doing the things. So I'm creating those habits and I'm looking at it and saying, I got to complete all of this today. All the things that I said I was going to do, I did. So a checklist will definitely hold you accountable. 9 is saying no more. I think we all get guilted into doing things. I actually think I've been pretty good about this, but saying no to things that don't align with you. If you don't want to go out drinking at 11 p.m. and you'd rather be going to sleep early and getting your good sleep, and your friends make you feel guilty for that, think about yourself and who you want to be and say no more. Because I think we're all a little bit of a people pleaser and we want to be there for people, and you kind of put your other people's priorities over yours. But let this time show you that people will still stick around when you say no to plans. I used to always be like, oh, they're not going to invite me anymore, or they're not going to want to hang out with me. And it's like, you can tell someone nicely, like, I really don't love going out and drinking late. If you ever do like a day drinking or things like that, like I like doing things during the day. So you're not just blowing them off, but you're telling them these are kind of the things that I enjoy doing, and the going out late at night isn't my vibe. And number 10 is reading more books. And I brought some books because these are the books that I will be trying to read. Obviously, I don't think I'll be reading all 4 of these within 75 days, but I want to try to read more. I don't want to put a specific amount of time that I need to be reading, but at least be reading a few times a week, because reading every single day, especially when you had a busy day and maybe you're going out and then being like, I have to get my 10 pages. I used to go out and be out until 1 a.m. and then I would get home and read my 10 pages. Like, it just was like something that always weighed on me. So I definitely want to read during this, but I don't want it to feel dreadful to me. So one that I'm reading right now is The Mountain Is You. I think I'm going to reread it because I've been reading this for like months and haven't gone through it because I haven't been consistent. So I think I'm going to start over. This is probably the book I'll start with. This is a really good book. So we're starting with that. The Power of Now, I've never read, but I've heard it's really good. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I also have never read. I got this, and this I think will be really good for habits. So I think this will be perfect for this time. And then the last one, I think I want to reread Atomic Habits. I read this during 75 Hard and I really loved it. So this will be the last one. If I get through those 3, I will reread this one. But I think we're going to start with the 3 books that we have. I will link these. I don't know if they have all of these on Amazon, but if they do have these, I will link. Maybe I'll make us a little 75 Hard winter arc Amazon storefront of things that I think will be helpful during this time. And if they have those books, I will leave them. If not, I'll just write them out because I think I got most of these at Barnes & Noble. So I will link everything down below. All of this will be written down below. Just remember, this time we are showing up for ourselves and we are creating our dream life, and we are creating the life that we have always dreamed of. You are capable of all of this and so much more. So show up for yourself during this time. And we're going to be creating those habits together. So that is the end of this episode. Obviously, everything will be linked down below, all of my socials. If you're adding anything to this winter arc, leave that in the comments or DM me. I would love to hear what you guys are implementing, and you can send me like updates if you want on Instagram, DM me, because I think that'll just help us be more accountable. So if you want to post it on your story and I'll repost it on Love Daniella, we'll just hold each other accountable. But I am really excited about this, and I'll definitely do check-ins with you guys. So I love you guys, and I will see you next Tuesday.